The world of spies is a world built on secrets. But there's one secret, even more dazzling than the Aston Martins, the dazzling gadgets, the world-saving missions, and the classic tuxedo that almost never makes it to the silver screen or the headlines. And it's this. Behind the world's most famous spy, there stands a man far more daring, inventive, and unpredictable than any fictional agent. If you ask anyone on the street to name the greatest intelligence agent in the world, chances are they won't hesitate. They'll grin and say, James Bond, 007, the man with a license to kill and an uncanny ability to get out of any trap. But if you ask about the true mastermind behind Bond, the one who didn't just imagine him, but practically lived his story, now you're speaking of a name most have never heard, Ian Fleming.
And what most people never realize is just how much real espionage, danger, and creative madness flowed into the world's most legendary spy. Because before he wrote a single page about Bond, Ian Fleming was already a master spy, the kind whose wildest ideas were so unthinkable that time and again they changed the course of a world at war. Ian Lancaster Fleming was born into English aristocracy, the sort of privilege where your name alone opens doors, and your worst mistakes are smoothed over by family friends and high places. His father was a hero who died young in the First World War. His mother was the immovable force of their lives, determined, proud, with very British notions about dignity, discipline, and duty.
From an early age, Ian was that irresistible combination, a rule breaker with flawless manners, as comfortable at a debate as he was leading the Naval Scouts, but allergic, utterly, to the hard work of study. He was the bright, restless soul at every school he attended, always finding new mischief, until, of course, the fun went too far, and he was unceremoniously expelled from his prestigious boarding school. But persistence ran in the family, mostly on his mother's side. She refused to let her wayward son simply drift into obscurity. She enrolled him at a military academy, where his father's memory and her relentless lobbying won him a place. Ian Fleming, the new cadet, was expected to learn order, obedience, and the upright virtues his mother prized.
Instead, he promptly found his way into a scandalous romance with the commander's wife and, predictably, was thrown out. Thus, the legend of Ian Fleming, unlikely hero, serial troublemaker, was well underway. At a loss, Fleming drifted into the family firm, a stalwart name in the London brokerage world, respectable, dull, and, much to everyone's surprise, ripe for revolution. For a little while, Fleming devoted the force of his restless creativity to boosting profits. He succeeded, tripling the family's earnings with clever innovations. His mother, seeing this, tried to chain him to the desk for life. But routine was his enemy.
With no warning, he resigned, sending his mother into a rage. Rather than fight it out, he vanished to a family estate in Liverpool, hiding from confrontation and perhaps, for the first time, searching for what he truly needed. That Liverpool house would become Fleming's unlikely doorway into the shadowy world for which he was destined. For here, he met Admiral John Godfrey, head of British Naval Intelligence, family friend, and a man with a keen eye for talent. At this moment, 1939, with war rumbling ever closer, Godfrey saw something in Ian Fleming, a keen mind, restless energy, and an instinct for trouble, not unlike his own. The Admiral watched him for a few days, then cornered Ian in the garden. "Do you know what I'd do, Fleming?" he asked. "Admiral, I think it's the worst-kept secret in England," Ian replied with his signature smirk. "So, would you like to work with me?" Who on earth could refuse? In that exchange, the errant stockbroker became a Royal Naval officer and, more secretly, a new agent to British intelligence, just as Europe slid into chaos. If the service expected a dull junior officer, they were in for a shock. With the outbreak of war, Ian Fleming's real genius blossomed. His mind, untethered by rules or the limits of convention, became a factory for outlandish, audacious, and often brilliant ideas. Those who worked with him often felt, at first, that they'd been saddled with a dangerous eccentric. But Fleming's schemes, shocking at first blush, proved time and again to be strokes of genius. Take the German radio broadcast. To break the spirit and the trust of the German war machine, Fleming created an entire fake radio station beaming into Germany. The voice on the air was a supposed underground German officer, a patriot who loathed Hitler and the Allies in equal measure.
Fleming's license to innovate was renewed, and the poison he dripped, sweet as honey, would gnaw at enemy morale for years. But this was only the beginning. Recognizing the peculiar obsessions of Hitler's deputy, Rudolf Hess, a man famously fascinated with the supernatural, Fleming concocted one of British intelligence's most audacious psychological gambits. Operation Soothsayer was born. Fleming recruited 2 Swiss astrologers, bought by British gold, to become Hess's trusted seers. They told Hess the stars promised him immortality if he negotiated peace. Hess, spellbound, took the profound step. Climbing into a plane, he flew solo to England to propose a separate peace. The British arrested him. As for Fleming, he'd achieved what no other agent had: a rift in Nazi leadership and a prisoner whose secrets the Allies scoured, right up to Hess's last lonely years in a prison cell decades later. By now, Fleming was proving to be an operator of rare resourcefulness, willing to use not just soldiers and spies, but astrologers, journalists, and even criminals if that's what the plan required.
Transferred to New York at the end of 1941, Fleming set about wooing the Americans into war and, behind the scenes, laying groundwork for what would become the CIA. His partner, Colonel William Donovan, Roosevelt's confidant and the father of American Secret Service. But office intrigue and negotiation, while important, were never enough for a man like Fleming. He plunged into New York's underworld, recruiting burglars, safecrackers, and ex-cons to pull off a caper straight out of a pulpy spy novel. Their target? The secret code books locked in the office safe of the Japanese Consul General. The thieves broke in and delivered every document, page by secret page, to British hands. Fleming's superiors were at once scandalized and elated. Summoned for a stern talking to, he shrugged. They thought they were doing industrial espionage, not politics. In the shadow world, sometimes a little larceny gets the job done. Recalled finally to London, Fleming prepared his most audacious scheme yet, and this was not fiction. Unit 30 Assault, a hand-picked team of commandos trained for impossible missions deep behind enemy lines.
The concept was radical, even in a war full of reckless bravery. Fleming himself led their planning, devising the wildest, most innovative tactics. In 1944, the team landed deep in enemy territory, seized a German radar station crucial to spotting British raids, captured the garrison, and spirited the machinery back to England. The price for this miracle raid? A single casualty, not the massive slaughter the brass had predicted. Before headquarters could recover from that shock, Fleming lobbed another grenade of innovation. If the Allies spent countless hours trying to peel secrets from Nazi spies, one page at a time, why not steal the entire German naval archive in one suicidal blow? 2 weeks of analysis, war rooms buzzing, and the nod came down. Fleming's plan would go ahead, though casualties could be immense. When Fleming briefed his unit, grim and honest,
We may lose 70% of you. There was not a shred of hesitation. Every hand, every trained operator volunteered. The plan was Fleming's from start to finish, featuring an invention worthy of Q himself.
A submersible motorbike, pure science fiction at the time, that would glide the commandos silently beneath the waves to their target. London waited, tense. Hours ticked by. Finally, at dawn, a single message. Complete success. Casualties, 0. The team returned triumphant, having spirited every last record out of German hands without firing a shot. It was a coup stranger than fiction, the kind of episode that proves sometimes reality is not just stranger than fiction, it's bolder. The war ended, and for Fleming, the rush of conflict faded into smoky memory. He received his medals, took his bonuses, and returned with unspoken relief to the world of finance, surrounded once again by the tedium he so desperately resisted. His restless energy needed a new outlet, and there, in the quiet, Fleming found his immortal escape. He would write. The rest, as they say, is history written in gold. Inside every Bond adventure, every twist of the roulette wheel, every scramble up the Eiffel Tower, every impossible gadget and even more impossible escape is a story, a spark, rooted not in imagination, but in the incredible, wild truth of Ian Fleming's own war. For in that gap between history and legend, between fact and fiction, Ian Fleming left us not only a fictional hero, but his own legacy as the world's true spy maker. So next time you see 007 order his martini, remember the world's most famous spy was always outdone by the spy master who made him. Long before the tuxedo, the martini, and the Aston Martin, there was a man with a typewriter, a war record, and 1,000 dangerous ideas. Ian Fleming didn't just imagine James Bond, he lived him. And in doing so, he blurred the line between the spy and the storyteller, between the legend and the man. This was his world, a world where truth wore a mask, and the greatest secret of all was the one hiding behind 007. This is the Spy Archive.